how do we know whether our school is successful or schools are successful. We talked about the school report card, the ISAT school report card, looking at graduation rates, the standards and benchmarks of the academics and skill sets. We also talked about the Brigance for the kindergarten group. With regards to the graduation rate, we also talked about not just senior year, but also those who started as a freshman and how many of those graduate as seniors. So kind of looking at that a couple different ways, which leads into what measures should we look at. We talked about measuring parent involvement with their child's education and with the schools. The post-graduation success, what did they do after they graduated? Did they go into a four-year institution, two-year institution, get a job, what have you? We also talked about measuring the environment and the safety of the facilities and the technology involved at the facilities. We also talked about measuring the families that move into the community and stay in the community and how many of those enroll their students within Decatur Public Schools. We also talked about measuring what the students think, and not just are they happy, but also do they feel challenged. Also measuring the image of the school district as well. And half of that feeds into a referendum, tax referendum. That was, somebody mentioned that being a good way for the community, it's an actual measurement to vote on something like that, on a tax base, tax increase or bonds, etc. What would you like to know about your school? This is what we got a lot of different feedback on what we talked about, what would we like to know about our school. What is being done to incorporate the parents and the community within the schools? Part of that is there a culture of excellence within the schools? A peer-to-peer comparison, public school to public school to private school, really understanding the gap analysis there. We'd like to know if our school environment is safe, if the curriculum has high standards, excellent rigor, and enrichment opportunities. What kinds of efforts are being done regarding discipline? What kind of efforts are being done to wrap extra programs around students for support? A welcoming environment as well, and what kind of services are available for special education? We talked about what happens when standards aren't met. What happens when there is, I'll just put it that way. I won't say the F word, failure. We talked about accountability, and not just starting to fire people, but what kind of increased resources can we use to support not just the students, but also the schools as well. We also need to confirm, are the standards appropriate? If not, how do you adjust those? With regards to teachers, how are we tracking continued education? What is going on in the community? Really looking at the root causes, what's going on in the community and how can we make it better? And then finally, if a school district truly can't run itself, how do we need to step in? I'm on the last question. Hovering. It's pressure up here. What performance measures can the community add? This one's pretty quick. Parent accountability, real estate values, making sure everyone within the school district is connected to the proper services, and making sure that the criminal justice system isn't a growth industry, and right along with that, the teen pregnancy rate, we need that to go down as well. And just making sure that our community is committed to the value of education.